really a tax on some of the consumption. So if tax collections are slowing down, that's a clear signal that there has been a slowdown in consumption as well. I do think that, in the case of consumption, particularly some of the interest rate sensitive consumption, some of the delay some of the consumption slowdown probably is because of, consumer confidence taking a big hit. And therefore, there may have been some delay in purchases. And to that extent, banks pushing more aggressively on retail lending actually can see some of the discretionary consumption come back in 2020. But, the broader issue is, one of, are we creating enough jobs? Both in the rural and the urban side of the economy, and clearly the evidence is that we are not. And second, are we creating, enough sort of real income increase for both rural and urban households? And therefore, for instance, in the urban side of the economy, clearly the real income increase has also slowed down. So whatever consumption increase we have seen has largely been a leverage-driven consumption. And if banks have excess liquidity, they will again, like I said, push on retail lending. But that again brings us to a leverage-driven consumption cycle at the expense of household savings going down. So in terms of durable drivers of consumption, I don't think are really in place. More monetary stimulus-driven, leverage-driven consumption, can it bounce back? The answer is yes.
So then obviously, as you had said in your first answer as well, the expectation that some private investment pickup will happen as capacities get utilized, that has gotten pushed back as well. And I think it's showing in the in some of the data, both on the RBI side on capacity utilization, and if one takes the capital goods data from IIP.
Yeah, that's right. I think, clearly capacity utilization has come down, and the incentive for a company to put up a new plant in terms of demand visibility, in terms of the balance sheet capacity, both suggest that the appetite for putting up long-term projects would not be there, primarily because, your first objective will be to get your balance sheets in a better shape. So I think the entire balance sheet deleveraging cycle, which has been going on for quite some time, one was hoping that we are nearing the end of the deleveraging cycle, actually gets pushed out a bit further. So yes, I think the investment side in terms of, sort of, again, a durable pickup in private investment gets pushed out even further. The other thing, that I would flag is that clearly, we have as a country, we have large investment needs, but we do not have sufficient savings, whether it's corporates or government or the, households in general. The appetite, the ability to fund our investments, is not as much. So we will need to look at alternate opportunities to tap savings, and foreign savings, foreign capital, long-term equity capital is something that we will probably need to look at to sort of supplement, domestic savings, because our investment needs are quite substantial.